All rise!
Sports Court is in session. Welcome to another edition of Sports Court. If you haven't heard, there was big news last week. The Michigan State football team decided to play their game against Penn State on Friday at Ford Field, which meant the MHSAA had to find a new place or a new time to play the high school football state championships. Here's how it's gonna play. The Lions are gonna play on Thursday, Michigan State's gonna play Friday at Ford Field, and now the MHSAA state championships will be played on Saturday and Sunday. So we're asking, should the high school football state championships be played on Saturday and Sunday? And I say absolutely. They were going to be played on Saturday anyway. Traditionally, the games are played Friday and Saturday. Moving the game back one extra day doesn't hurt too many people on a holiday weekend anyway. I think it's a smart move, and there are big reasons why that I'll get into in just a little bit.
Jamal, I don't really like the move at all. First off, you got to think of the teams from the UP. What if they are playing on that Sunday? Even if they're playing on that Saturday, that's a long day of travel on that Sunday, the day before you go back to school. I also don't like it for the schools that are very religious, the Christian schools, the Catholic schools. What if they are playing on Sunday? I'm sure that's against their guidebooks at their schools and everything. I don't like the move. I think it's been 30 years since the MHSAA hasn't played on Friday and Saturday. It's the first time ever they'll play the state championships on Sunday. I don't like the move.
Well, Mark, the MHSAA said that there are schools in the state of Michigan whose holy day does not fall on Sunday. So what do those schools do during the high school football playoff season or any postseason tournament? If their Sabbath is Friday or Saturday, they have to make adjustments as well. So I think these religious schools who look at Sunday the same way, they're just going to have to do the same thing that all these other schools have been doing. And you mentioned traveling from the UP. It doesn't matter what day of the week you make that trek, it's going to be a long one. I think the MHSAA will likely make sure that those UP schools play on Saturday, if possible, to make sure they get as much travel time as needed. But ultimately, here's why I think this was such a great move, because what was the alternative? Mark Ewell, the executive director of the MHSAA, said, what were we gonna do? Play these games outdoors at Spartan Stadium or outdoors at Kelly Shorts in Mount Pleasant? No, they wanna play them indoors. You wanna play them at Ford Field. Having it on the exact same weekend is a benefit for family, it's a benefit for schools, and ultimately, I think it was the best scenario.
If they're playing on Sundays, that's not going to take away from the NFL coverage. I mean, everyone on their grandmother's watching NFL Sunday, and if I know the Lions aren't playing that day, but that's where everyone's going to be focused at. Are they going to be able to get as many kids to go to those games as they would on a Friday or Saturday? I just don't know. I think it just stinks for the kids. I think it might take away from the experience. But again, it's the state championship that I think you're going to be pumped to play on either day.
Spoken like a true Bears fan. You're talking about NFL Sunday. The Lions play on Thanksgiving, Mark. They're not playing on that Sunday. I'm sorry that nobody wants to see your Bears play on that Sunday. The people in the state of Michigan are going to show up and support high school football on Sunday.
Oh, come on, man. All right, what's your verdict? Let us know on Facebook, and next week we'll highlight our favorites.
Last week we asked, should the Pistons have drafted Carmelo Anthony over Darko Milicic?
Brandon took Jamal's side. No, would have changed the entire course of events for the season. They would have never won the championship.
That's what I'm saying, Brandon. Patrick thought otherwise, saying, of course they should have.
And of course, you should watch Sports Court next week. Until then, Sports Court is adjourned.